Good morning, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Obviously, welcome to the Hat-Trick Podcast. That name will probably change. Adam thought of it within like 20 minutes. Speaking of Adam, here he is.
Hiya, how are we doing?
All right. And obviously, next to him, to his left, we've got Mr. Tom Rogers. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, we'll be all right. All right, then, lads. Let's actually start off with discussing some football. That's why we're all here. That's what we're going to do. Let's start with the Manchester City-Arsenal game. Tom, was it Manchester City being incredible, like we all know they are, or was it just Arsenal being defensively poor, because we know they are as well? Which one was it?
I think it's a bit of both, really. Well, Sergio Aguero's got hat-trick, hasn't he? And have you seen Mustafi about 10 yards behind the play for the first goal, and that the way it starts you mean to go on, don't you?
I mean, we all know that Sergio Aguero is deadly from minute one. He did it against Newcastle in the other week. He's done it many times before. Surely it's textbook defending to just go, oh, Sergio Aguero's in the box, we'll mark him. But Lichtsteiner seemed not to be able to do that. Is that something that Arsenal have been known for this season, or what are we expecting, Adam?
Yeah, like if you look at all three goals, I mean they're all really tap-ins from Aguero inside the 6-yard box. Apart from the diving header, but in all of those goals he's completely unmarked, and you just got to think, what are Arsenal thinking, especially Aguero?
I think that's Arsenal's biggest problem this season, is at the back, nowhere else. In midfield, up front, they've got the firepower to be up there, but defensively they need to sort it out. They need a top quality centre half if they're going to challenge for that top four place.
Well, I mean, I definitely mean that Aubameyang's up there in the top goal scorer list this season. We all know that. He is insane. He is absolutely quality in terms of how he does what he does and everything like that. But I mean, the fact that they are just, I don't know, their defenders there that they have, I can't see them winning the league with their defenders.
No chance at all.
The defenders they have, I mean, you list them. Who've we got that started at the game? We've got
Lichtsteiner, is it? Lichtsteiner at right back, Mustafi, Koscielny.
He's gone.
And who was at full back? Leno in goal.
Although when you do talk about Arsenal's defence, I mean the injuries are unfortunate. Obviously, we got to work around them, but obviously Bellerin out for the season and the start of next season as well, which is real hammer blow because he's both defensively and attacking wise, whereas I wouldn't say Lichtsteiner can really offer that up the other end of the field.
Yeah, but obviously we talked about Arsenal's failures. Manchester City were good. We've seen them play this formation before and it not really work. When they've played Fernandinho, Gundogan, and De Bruyne, and who was the other one that played? Them four there. When they played together against Liverpool in the first leg of the semi-final last year, where they got battered and torn apart. They played against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final last year, where they were terrible in that first half. They were awful. Inevitably, he changed it up. I think he brought Gundogan off and brought on somebody else. David Silva's the fourth one, sorry.
Silva, yeah.
And brought somebody off and I think it was Bernardo Silva brought on for the Carabao Cup final. They haven't got a lot of success with that, playing that team. And I think when it went 1-1, especially, they were absent for the next 20 minutes, and Arsenal could have grabbed something from that game.
Yeah, I think in that 20 minutes, Arsenal needed to capitalise, to put men forward and try and get the second goal. But it just didn't seem like they wanted to go there to score more. Arsenal only scored that goal because they knew they had to, because they'd gone one behind within 48 seconds.
Yeah, I think obviously when it went 1-1, I mean they wanted to score, but I didn't feel like they were on the same page. Everyone was on the same page, like attacking wise. They just didn't seem to be. They weren't clicking like Man City were when they got into the box.
Yeah.
Play it through them, get Aguero in the 6-yard box again, but it just seemed a weird one.
Well, Arsenal spent 75 minutes with 11 men in their own half.
Yeah.
I think the first goal, every single Arsenal player were in their own box.
Yeah, they were. The phrase that Jamie Carragher used on commentary on Super Sunday was, "You could have thrown a blanket over them."
Yeah,
that's how tight they were. And yeah, that's Arsenal there. Sergio Aguero, we all know he's good. How good is he?
Oh, he's got to be up there with top 3 Premier League strikers.
But, right, here's the thing: he is. But when has he ever been in Team of the Year at the end of the season? Or when has he ever won like Player of the Year or somebody like that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, obviously, most of the time, strikers, it's whoever's won the Golden Boot, really. So obviously,
he's always up there, though.
He's always up there near the top, but obviously, most of the time now you're going to put one up front and then the wingers. So like you got those like the likes of Hazard and Sane, but
the absolute mad statistic that I pulled out my backside this weekend was that he has never not scored 10 goals in his career, and that goes all the way back from when he started professionally at 17.
17, yeah, up at Atletico.
Yeah, that's mad. Never not scored less than 10 goals a season. That's what you call a goal scorer. And obviously he's now one behind the hat-tricks record of Big Al, which that speaks for itself. It's Big Al. Anyway, we'll move on to last night. Adam, what were Liverpool doing?
It was a strange one. Like all of a sudden, West Ham come out with the traps, lightning, like just take the ball past Liverpool, shooting. They were really troubling them, and then all of a sudden, Liverpool go up the other end and score. Obviously, clearly offside.
Yeah,
it's
a horrible decision.
I can't believe the liner was well out of position.
Right, that was the main thing. It wasn't like he wasn't on the line. I know it sounds really stupid, but when a linesman is doing that line, he is meant to be in line with that last defender.
Yeah.
And this guy wasn't. He was 6 yards down.
Man was off it, wasn't he?
It was a joke, but obviously Sadio Mane scored again for Liverpool. I don't know who got the West Ham goal, was it?
It was Antonio, yeah. It was a quick free kick, obviously. Liverpool were really high up the field, which obviously created a lot of space into the box. Mm-hmm. So Antonio just peeled off his man to the other side of the pitch where all the other defenders were on the left side. He's on his own and he just slots into the corner. Alisson doesn't even move because it's that perfectly placed, and they're starstruck. And then Liverpool didn't really turn up for the rest of the game, and that's pretty much how it played out, really, until they had a last shot of the game. Liverpool did another one.
That was
well
another
offside.
one. He was 2 or 3 yards offside, and the linesman's actually in line for this one, and he's still not seen it.
But Origi didn't manage to get it in. It was really poor effort. Yeah, brings him on. It's like last throw of the dice to bring Origi on. Worked against Everton, but yesterday didn't come off.
Sorry, it just goes to show that if obviously they do win the league now that they bottled it against West Ham, it's
3 points. So Man City can go top in the week if they beat Everton on goal difference.
Mad. So yeah, it'll be 3 points. We obviously have a title race on our hands. If Liverpool manage to do it, I'm just thinking of players that will have Premier League winning medals from Liverpool that really don't deserve it. And Derek Origi points to me.
Yeah, obviously, like the squad depth from Man City to Liverpool is a massive gap. Obviously, if Liverpool have more injuries, especially attacking wise,
if either winger gets injured, Salah or Mane, then they're going to be struggling.
Yeah, whereas Man City can bring on whoever they want. The bench is so strong.
Sterling or Sane get injured, you put Bernardo Silva out wide. You've got loads of players that can play there. Mahrez.
Right, we'll move on to the in-form team of the Premier League. Obviously, we all agree that it is Manchester United. Did either of you two see the game?
I did. I
saw bits here and there, yeah.
It was a strange one again. Obviously, Man United, I wouldn't say they were brilliant. It wasn't one of their brilliant games. Obviously, Leicester try to play out the back, give the ball straight to Pogba on the edge of the box. He lifts it through to Rashford and it's 1-0, and then that was the game. Cause
it's a banging finish, though.
It was a great
the touch, and then it's an emphatic finish. He's hit it with some power. He's not dilly-dallied around with it. He's actually
dilly-dallied around,
smashed it into the corner. But it's another thing. Ricardo Pereira in that position. Why is he clearing it into the middle of the pitch? That's got to go up down the line or over, and at least over the Man United's back four.
I didn't even know who he was looking at. No, there's no one in that area of the pitch.
And he's just played a blind ball, and all of a sudden you're 1-0 down.
There's a lot of talk from obviously Leicester fans that they were massively disappointed Mark Albrighton wasn't even on the pitch, which obviously is just injury. But Harvey Barnes, he had a good game.
A really good game. Obviously, it was unfortunate. One of the chances he had, edge of the box, just went wide. But they were creating Leicester, but just couldn't really find a effort on target.
I think he's one that can push Leicester forward, Harvey Barnes. First half of the season spent at West Brom, and he's got goals and assists in him. So many.
I feel for Leicester City fans because they are one of the clubs this season that are in midriff. We don't exactly know where they're going to go. We don't know what's going on with them. They've had some outstanding results over the Christmas period. They beat City, beat Chelsea, drew with Liverpool. They've had absolutely phenomenal results. But then they got beat at home to Cardiff. They drew at home to Huddersfield. Do you know what I mean? These are results you should not be getting. You should be beating these teams. You should be absolutely knocking them aside. And Claude Puel's style of football is noted as, oh, it's flat, oh, it's boring, oh, it's this, that, the other. But he gets you places, he gets you results. They had the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup this season. Obviously, they lost to Man City, who we all think are probably going to win the cup anyway because they were in the final against Chelsea. We also, last season, they were in the semi-finals, got knocked out again by Manchester City, who went on to win the cup. So they've had good cup runs. Yeah, obviously they got battered by Newport and shouldn't have probably played a makeshift side, which is a conversation for a different day because we all agree the FA Cup's slacking, but that's a different thing. Leicester City are in midriff. I think they'll sack him. I don't think they should. I think they will, though. Lads, do we agree?
I think they'll sack him. As much as I don't think they should. They're 6 points off 7th, which is what, the last European spot. I just find it crazy. He's been there what, a year?
Two now.
Is it 2 years?
Yeah, it'll be 2. It's his second year.
It's a similar situation to Sam Allardyce last year, when Everton were doing really well, but obviously Everton hated the brand of football, thought it was boring. But obviously for me, I'm more bothered about results, and they were going up the table rapidly, but they just pulled the plug on it. And this is a similar situation. Leicester doing really well, and I'd keep him, but like Tom, I feel they'll either before the end of the season or at the end of the season they'll get rid of him.
We'll get on to who possibly could replace him later on. Obviously, Man United, Solskjaer's got to get the job.
He's got to, hasn't he?
He's got to get the job.
Yeah, must do.
He's got to get the job. Obviously, they come up against big games over the next couple of weeks. They've got Chelsea. They've also got the 2 legs against PSG, and either side of that, they've also got games at Everton as well. So they've got a big run up.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that PSG game. Obviously, Neymar are out now for both legs.
It's
going to be really. I think it's going to be a good game. I really do.
I think it's going to be a good matchup. The new Man United now, under Mourinho, would not have backed him at all. I thought under Mourinho they'd have got beat 5-6-0 over the both legs easily. But like you say, Neymar being out, it doesn't matter as much because they've got Di Maria, Draxler, Mbappe, Cavani,
Rabiot.
They're
Thiago Silva, Marquinhos,
they're always going to be a threat, aren't they?
Dani Alves. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I think it'll be a PSG Juventus final. That's just me. If they don't meet each other in the tournament, I think it'll be a PSG Juventus final. I think PSG are a really, really strong team. I always say, yeah, they're there. Ethically, they're embarrassing, but yeah, they'll be there. Anyway, that's for the Champions League leg. Move on. Chelsea actually won a game, lads.
Yeah, and a great win.
Chelsea won a game. Is it the fact that Chelsea went, oh God, we were terrible against Bournemouth, the manager's kind of doing it, we've got to pull it out now? Or is it the fact that Huddersfield are just so bad?
Huddersfield are awful. They're going down for me. They're stuck at the bottom. And
they're down.
They've got, I think their 2 strikers have got 1 goal each.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
I don't think they've signed a striker in January either, did they?
No, they couldn't.
They're just out of the funds for it, but it's going to be tough for them to get out of this situation, because obviously even the games who they play, teams around them, they're just not getting the results. I mean, you need to win those games or pick up points. They're just not, and it's just they're all over the place defensively, especially.
Well, we were talking about Sarri, and obviously last week when they got beat by Bournemouth 4-0, he was like, oh, I can't motivate my players, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do the other. Well, it seems like you motivated them enough now, mate.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from the result at the midweek to this game, couldn't be more different from how they played, even with Huddersfield being poor.
We made a lot of changes, didn't he? He brought in Andreas Christensen, who I highly rate. I don't know why he hasn't played him more. He's incredible.
Player, yeah.
He's incredible. Ross Barkley, who this season is one of the comeback players of the year, he's played incredible. Obviously, Hazard played out on that left because Higuain's there, and Higuain is Mr. Sarri ball. He is. We all agree that. He's got something crazy like 38 goals in 36 games under Sarri, including the 2 against Huddersfield, which I don't know. It is going to be a very tight one because I think now Chelsea have got their man. They've got goals in them. Them and Man United for the top 4. It's going to definitely be there.
For Chelsea, it's just consistency. They just need to keep picking up results. They can't go to Bournemouth one week and lose 4-0 and then go beat Huddersfield 5-0 because with the form Man United are on, they're going to steamroll past them.
Or they've got a hard game next. They've got Man City at the weekend.
They beat them on the other leg though, but so if they turn up, they could do it.
Absolutely. That's obviously in the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah,
they got City next in the Carabao Cup final now. Obviously, the Carabao Cup is also called the Mickey Mouse Trophy because no one really cares about it. But getting a cup in your first year, is he going to stay? Is he going to leave?
I don't know. I think he'll get sacked before he walks. I think, but I wouldn't do it just yet. But we'll see. If they get top 4, I think he'll stay. If they lose to Man United for the top 4 race, it'll be interesting to see if it goes.
Absolutely. We'll move on to Spurs, who, despite the other 2 in the title race, because we can admit Spurs are in the title race. They're the outsiders, of course, but they're in there. They're 3 points behind Man City now, because obviously City won at the weekend, and obviously they're 6 points behind Liverpool. Crazier things have happened. Leicester won the Premier League, fellas. So, obviously, I will take the lead on this game because unfortunately, Heung-min Son did us in the 86th minute. I'm a Newcastle United fan. I hated it. It wasn't a good game. It was a good game for us because we kept them there. But Spurs without Harry Kane and Dele Alli don't look like a good team. They aren't. Not at all. They aren't a good team. Lucas Moura had a terrible game. He was not a good player whatsoever. Harry Winks looked a shadow of himself. He's meant to be this England enforcer that we all want to be the saviour of England's midfield. He was terrible. Sean Longstaff absolutely battered him out of the game. And that's a young player that has come through our academy, went on loan to Blackpool last season, was playing League One football, and he's come in and played 7 games on the trot in midfield. Yeah, we've got mad injuries. Diame and Shelby are out, obviously. We haven't got really any more centre-backs. Keys out as well. Muto was on Asia Cup duty. So we haven't got any centre mids. So he's had to come in, he's had to do a job. Did a job against Chelsea. Actively stopped Jorginho in his tracks. That's the first game in nearly 2 years that Jorginho has had under 75% passing completion because Sean Longstaff was all over him. And I think he did a similar job. Obviously, he gave Son the space there, and the howler from Dubravka is
just bounces just before he gets to him. But if he gets his body beyond that, comes off. You see, obviously, it just goes below his knee, kind of. Gets his body beyond that, saves it.
But you see, I'm not angry at him. Normally, I'd be fuming if it was like Rob Elliott or something like that. I'd be absolutely fuming. But Martin Dubravka's got us more points than he's lost us.
Yeah.
So
he's been a great signing. He didn't cost you much either, did he?
No, it was £4 million.
£4 million.
£4 million
for a goalkeeper that looks like he's going to keep you in the league.
It's just whatever. Anyway, we'll move on to the battle for 7th place. Wolves. What are they?
Oh, I don't even know this.
It's a strange one. They, on the day they can, that Leicester game earlier in the season, obviously they can score goals when they want to, but it's just consistency. But I'm really been impressed. I thought they'd stay up comfortably, but not by this much. They're really.
I thought they'd get top 10, but I wouldn't have had him to get, because they're sat in that last European spot. I don't know if I would have had them to get that. I thought they'd just miss out.
Well, that's the thing. But, like, on paper, yeah, we would. Yeah, on paper, their team should be around about this place. Because as we said when we mentioned Leicester, the gap between that is ridiculous. It isn't a lot at all. If we look at the league table, from 7th all the way down, what have we got? From 7th at Wolves, all the way down to 11th, where Leicester are, we're looking at 6 points. Which is nothing in the Premier League. It's absolutely nothing. And yeah, Wolves have got a cushy little 4-point gap on Everton and Watford at the moment, but they've only got a 1-goal difference. They haven't got anything about them. It's just, it is mad. I don't really know what to say about the team. I don't, to tell you the truth. They're a crazy team.
I think like Everton though, they've got it in them to go 2, 3, 4 unbeaten, and they'll all of a sudden be back in that 7th place.
Yeah, but they've also got it in them too.
But they've also got it in them to go the other way.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Whoever is most consistent will get that position.
Definitely.
It's consistency in it, yeah.
Now you look at Wolves, lost 2-0 to Palace at home, and then they go win, and they've won 3-1 at Everton within the space of 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, here's Everton's last 5, right? They beat Burnley 5-1 on Boxing Day, lost to Brighton, lost to Leicester, beat Lincoln in the FA Cup, beat Bournemouth, lost to Southampton, lost to Millwall, beat Huddersfield 1-0, lost to Wolves. I've got Man City tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for him. Obviously, I can't see anything other than the Man City win. But I said the same about that when he played Newcastle. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, after that though, obviously you got Watford are right in there, so that's gonna be a big game.
And then obviously Cardiff
should be winning those games, especially, and then obviously the Merseyside derby after that.
Yeah,
which
is a big game.
It's a big game.
It's obviously a very big game. They turned up for the previous leg of it, didn't they?
They did. Oh, that was a crazy game in itself.
Very good game. We've already mentioned Derek Origi's heroics. Derek Origi, what a legend. Right, we'll move on. Palace Fulham. Fulham. I've asked that question a lot today. What's this team? What's that team? I think the better question should be, how good was Christian Benteke's overhead kick? I think it's the best overhead kick missed ever. It was incredible.
I mean, yeah, he's to get up there. He's had the opportunity to put it in the net for a basket kick, but unfortunately,
Christian Benteke is. Where has he gone? What's he done with his life now? Embarrassing. Anyway, we had their penalty taker Luka Milojevic. I may have butchered that. I probably have.
It was close enough.
I think it's pretty good. It's a terrible pronunciation of a name. There are some names in the Premier League that you just can't have. But here's a really, really big stat that's really funny. It's not funny, but it is in so many ways. Fulham for that game had 63% possession, right? They had almost double as many passes as Crystal Palace. They didn't have a shot on target.
Where's all the possession then? Round the back, knocking it round the back four.
What are they doing with
into the holding midfielder, and then back to the back four.
A pass accuracy of 85% and 1 corner.
That's 2 centre backs knocking to each other. That's what that is.
What's going on? Mitrovic, obviously, it's Alexander Mitrovic. He's an ex-Newcastle United player. I love him. I love his passion and everything like that. He just cannot score easy goals.
No.
Simple chances, he just can't knock them in. You can't do it. He has to score a complicated goal and then make it out to be a massive deal.
He's got to climb over 3 men and head it into the top corner from 20 yards out.
He's mad. Score. He's absolute crazy. But obviously, nice to see Jeffrey Slupp get a goal. Bless him. He's not really been in their team, has he?
It's a big win for Palace, really, though.
Very big win for Palace.
Because that's one they could easily have slipped up. It's a London derby. It's just like they needed that.
They
really needed that.
They aren't far off. I mean, it pushed it to 4 points. If they lost that game or drew it, they'd have been a lot closer than they were. So yeah, big win.
Big win for them. So yeah, that's that. Fulham, are they down?
It's going to take a lot for them to get out of that.
Yeah,
I mean, I said that the same about Huddersfield, but the defence isn't good enough. I don't think
it's terrible. It really isn't.
55 goals conceded.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
They're going to probably concede 75 plus, 80 plus.
Which will be the record in the Premier League.
Yeah, they need to get what?
And Derby went down with 11 points.
Only Derby have done worse. yeah. Only Derby have done worse.
They're looking at Huddersfield, where are they going to get another point from? And that'll be 11. So you'll have a record tied at least.
We can pray.
Newcastle. We're terrible.
They'll come to your place, get a point.
Oh yeah, whatever. They'll be joining you in the Premier League next year anyway. Whatever, Championship next year anyway. Whatever, Derby. Right, anyway, we'll move on. Burnley, Southampton. This was a draw that is okay. We can accept it. Southampton, Burnley draw 0-0, or was it 1-1? It was 1-1.
Yeah. Burnley finally getting a penalty. How many games has it been? Like,
mad.
It should have been one first off, shouldn't they?
They should have had two. They should have had two penalties. They've been unlucky with penalties. They really have. It's been a Sean Dyche kind of trope that we haven't had a penalty for Burnley in a long time.
First one in 63 games, isn't it?
Yeah, that's,
over 60. Yeah,
that's 2 seasons. That's 2 years. That's bad. I mean, we haven't had a red Newcastle. We haven't had a red card since 2014 against an opposition team. So
that's
yeah,
5 years.
Yeah, we haven't had an opposition member of our team, like whoever we play, hasn't been sent down to 10 men in over 5 years. Last time was Norwich in the Championship when we first got sent down.
Must be just the ref's bias against Newcastle.
Sorry?
This must be like the ref's bias against Newcastle, mustn't
it? It's just a conspiracy. Whatever. Obviously, Nathan Redmond under the Alpine Klopp, as everybody calls him, he's a new player, isn't he?
Yeah,
he really is.
Class.
Different player, and he's been around a long time, but he's still only young. Bless him. Nathan Redmond. I like Nathan Redmond. We'll move on. Brighton Watford 0-0. Oh god. Watford. 1 week they can score 6 goals. The next week they won't score any. Troy Deeney hasn't scored a goal in 9 games now. What's he doing? I don't understand him. Right. Obviously, after this week's fixtures, I haven't spoken about Cardiff. Did we speak Cardiff? No, I didn't. I missed Cardiff.
A big win for Cardiff.
Sorry, Cardiff fans. I missed them. Big win for them after the performance of Bournemouth after that, and obviously an emotional return to their home ground after their loss of their striker. What's his name? Emilio Sala?
Emiliano Sala, yeah.
Yeah. It just gets rid, because whenever I say Salah, everyone's like, "Oh, that Liverpool player. Oh, is he gone missing?" No, he hasn't. It was Emiliano. Bless him. Obviously, they might have found his body. We haven't been confirmed that yet. It'd be nice to send him home to his family. Big win for Cardiff, though. Obviously, Bournemouth just aren't a good team. They are and they aren't.
Aren't consistent, I think it's the word.
It's just bless them.
Do you think I'd be to put 4 past Chelsea and then none past Cardiff?
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I think the emotion definitely played into it. That.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think so.
100%. So yeah, that's the Premier League done. Relegation, lads. Who's going down?
So Huddersfield for me, 100% gone.
Well, right, okay. Let's say Huddersfield are already down.
Yeah.
Fulham.
I think it's going to be all the 3 that are already in there.
Oh, right. Cardiff, Fulham, Huddersfield.
Yeah, and it's a boring prediction, but
yeah, I'd say this. I think Burnley and Southampton, they've got know-how. They've been here. Cardiff, first year back, second year back.
Yeah.
Well, they've got the know-how. Burnley and Southampton. Burnley are good at the back.
Yeah, especially with Tommy Heaton back.
Exactly.
So yeah, right, that's fine. They'll do it. Top 4. We've already said Man United. I think I'll do it. I don't know what the rest of you lads think.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, I think it's tight. It'll be Tottenham, Man United 3 and 4, but the top 2, it's tough. I mean, I put a little bet on Liverpool to win the league before the season, so hopefully they'll do it, but it's going to be close.
What you getting back of that?
Not a lot, I don't think. I think I only put £2 on.
Terrible. And then obviously 7th. I still think Everton will get 7th because it's Everton, and they always do.
I personally think it'll be Wolves.
Tom? Sorry, yeah. Adam. No Tom worries. Just said it. Apologies, Adam. I am very sorry. I can barely see your head, to be honest with you. This Big Mac in front of me is getting rid of it, and the fact that you're just slumping down in your chair like you are. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Tom though. So.
Okay. So
I'm gonna say Wolves. Yeah.
Wolves is there. That's fine. Right, we'll move on to the Championship. Tom, this is your league, so I'll let you do what you need to do. Leeds. Well, they obviously didn't spy on Norwich, did they?
Obviously not. I think it's been 4 games since that's all come out now, and they've won 1 of them, and that was away at Rotherham in the last minute.
I mean, they weren't good, were they? Adam, I don't know if you watched it.
I didn't watch the game. No.
You were down in London watching American football, which is okay because that's a different podcast we can do. But yeah, no, you're right. You are right, Tom. Since it all came out, they were at Derby. Right, they got beat by Stoke, didn't they? They got beat by Stoke. They had Jansen sent off. That wasn't a sending off though.
No, it wasn't. Definitely not.
They've had an unlucky run. They got they got screwed there. So yeah, okay. Norwich are a consistent team in the Championship, and if you're a consistent team, you win the league.
100%. Norwich were really good against Leeds. They were really good. They pressed them high. They played Leeds at their own game. Right. They were really good at it.
They out
really
Bielsa.
They did.
Oh, Bielsa. Right, so obviously we've got them. Middlesbrough, the Tony Pulis boring team, scored 3 goals this week against West Brom to obviously close that gap to just goal difference now. So the race for automatic promotion is on. For me, I would say it is between Sheffield United, Leeds and Norwich for the title and automatic promotion. I don't think West Brom and Borough have got enough.
Yeah, I've been really surprised with Sheffield United this season. Obviously, they were near the playoffs last season, but then the jump this season has been... Because obviously they've had like a lot of funny old results, like the Rotherham game. Like, I think that was a really crazy game. Like, Sheffield United scored late to take the lead, and then Rotherham came back and scored to equalise. So I don't think they have those consistency as, say, Norwich or a Leeds. Obviously, they lose the odd game, but most of the time it's wins. But I have to think Norwich or Leeds now for automatics.
I think there's 4 teams. I do think West Brom can push on.
Do you?
Yeah, I think with Dwight Gale, OJ Rodriguez, they just brought in Stefan Johansson. They just need to get better at defending. Literally get better at defending. They've got goals in them.
Yeah.
What are the top goal scorers in the league? Top goal scorers in the league.
Yeah,
West Brom, yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're 1 behind Norwich.
They're 7 points behind.
Yeah.
If Leeds go on, they've lost 2-1-1. Do you think Leeds will carry on this sort of form, or do you think they'll pick back up and go back on a?
No, they'll pick back up. Bielsa will get back up. But they're again saying that Bielsa teams have always kind of slumped as well, haven't they? They have slumped. It is what they do. They do slump. They definitely do. They slump because they run out of gas.
And obviously they got Middlesbrough next. Obviously that's a tough game away. We'll see what we can do there. I mean, obviously they want to bounce back. We would have wanted to do that against Norwich as well, but I'm going to say I think they'll continue the form. I think they'll definitely get automatics, and then it's going to be a real race for the title.
In other news in the Championship, the Ireland connection is complete. Martin O'Neill hires Roy Keane to be his bulldog.
It's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, it worked at Ireland, but obviously not after the great start against Birmingham. But obviously, to be fair, I think a lot of people write off Birmingham, but their home form is very impressive.
She had him scoring goals for them. They're good job they kept hold of him, Birmingham. So we've got 16 goals this season, all competitions. That's phenomenal for a team that the 8th.
Yeah,
he could on his own fire them into the playoffs, but I would be surprised. But they're having a good season.
Right, we're just looking at it. I mean, Forest, they were at the start of the season with Kamara. They were pipped to win the league. They were the favourites to win the league, and what are they now? They're 5 points off playoffs. It's been done before. We've seen teams come out of nowhere and absolute storm the league and do this, that and the other. I just don't think it will be done. Tom, what happened? Derby this weekend, Friday. Right, it was Friday night they played. What happened?
We were so poor. It's a good job Keller Roos was on it in goal, because he pulled out 2 or 3 great saves. But it's just second half. We just fell to pieces. Just letting balls come into the box consistently, and it's just I'm amazed we did not concede.
Although, you look at the Preston, 23 shots, only the 3 on target. I mean, they're shooting from way out. I mean, they must have to give them the space for them to have the strikers. Then obviously Derby with...
a lot of that's the ball coming into the box, and it's just they're getting 3 headers in the box, and you can't give them that 8-9 yards out. We were lucky that they were poor on the day.
Going forward, obviously now just out of the playoffs on goal difference, it's a tight one, because it literally is that last playoff space. because I can't see Borough and West Brom letting off. I can't see it whatsoever. So, excuse me there. It is I think it's between you two and Birmingham. Villa obviously are there. Hull are there as well. Blackburn, Forest, and maybe even Swansea as well. But all for one place, 6 teams.
I'd be surprised if we do get that final spot, just because of how inconsistent we are. We don't beat the smaller teams. If you look, we've lost at Rotherham, we lost at Bolton, but then we've gone to West Brom and beaten them 4-1.
And you've drawn at Reading as well, I believe.
We drew at Borough. It's just these big teams. We've gone to Norwich, won. I think it's only Leeds in the top 6 that have beat us twice.
Yeah.
So it just begs the question: is Lampard's style just suited for when teams are coming at us, rather than someone that's going to come to Pride Park and put 11 men behind the ball, and we just don't seem to be able to break them down?
Or is it the Lampard style of football needs another year?
I mean, I'm tempted to think they'll do it. I think, obviously, from an outsider, I think they'll go above Bristol. I think they'll pip them. But obviously, Lampard, well, he's obviously going to get another year. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. But obviously, I think if they don't make it, I think they'll be a lot higher up next season under Lampard.
Relegation down. Ipswich are gone. We won't even talk about them since what they did to Mick McCarthy last season is embarrassing, and I am very angry with them as a club.
Brought a League One manager in with League One players. There's only one way you're going.
Yeah, 100%, because the chairman hasn't invested anything. They've got worst goal difference in the league. They haven't scored the least goals. Bolton have done that, who were second. Who I also think are down because they just need to rebuild in League One.
Yeah.
Just need to be rebuilt. They've got a new owner taking over next week, apparently. Just need to rebuild.
Well, the new owner coming in, it's going to be a buzz around the club. I mean, you've still got a chance, I think, to get there. Just the 3 points off, and, Rotherham's going to be...
I think Bolton they've got too many problems. Like, not just on the pitch, but obviously, like you say, off the pitch.
Off the pitch as well, yeah.
They need to go down, like you say, and just...
See, Adam's a man of hope.
I am a man of hope. Obviously my situation would be here for hours to spoke about that.
Yeah, we won't get blogged into who's got the worst owner situation, because I think I will win that talk all day long.
But obviously, there has been some situations where things off the field have been great, and then obviously there's hope of something going to happen, and it has created a buzz.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can say like last season, Macclesfield did it, had off the season problems, and the team just spurred on its own and got promotion. So I still think there's hope for Bolton. You two may not, but
I don't. No,
I think the question is Rotherham or Reading.
I think Rotherham will go down. I think Reading will do enough. That's mainly because of hashtag Jamie Fry, and he's made me believe in Reading as a Reading fan. Bless him. Right, we'll move on to League One. Tom, you wanted to discuss Luton. Back-to-back promotion, maybe.
I think they'll do it. I think they'll go up as champions as well. They look so good. Even when Nathan Jones has obviously gone to Stoke from Luton.
Yep.
And this carrying on the form under Mick Harford, it's just been incredible.
Is that like a sign of a club as a whole being good from top to bottom, that one cog goes and you can still function at them, or is it just that team there that Jones had are a good knit group?
I think it was the managing team behind the staff were that close together that I think one person leaving, well, they still know what they do. They know what they do best, which is high press, attacking football, obviously, and the consistency. Obviously, to win a title, you need to be consistent, and they only need lose the first few games of the season, like a poor start, but obviously they've just exploded.
Yeah, and obviously Pompey were favourites, and they've gone down a little bit, but what is it for automatic? It's top two in it again. Top two. So Pompey are still there for automatic. Sunderland are right back down their throats, but they deserve to be in League One. And yeah, the playoffs for League One are looking tasty.
I think it's going to be.
I mean, it's between Donny and Peterborough for me, because the rest of them are all there, but we'll wait and see, because
Doncaster got 2 games in hand on Peterborough.
Absolutely, so we'll wait and see.
John Marquis has been scoring goals for him up front as well. He's got, I think he's top goal scorer in the league. Second top scorer, 16 goals.
There we go. So the other question that I need to ask is, who's going down?
Wimbledon are gone, I think.
Yeah, they're done.
Got some heroics in the FA Cup, I'll give them that, but not in the league.
They struggled to score goals all season, and then they score 4 against West Ham.
Well, West Ham were terrible that day. We won't discuss that anyway. But no, it's tight. It's ridiculously tight. It's tighter than any other league I've seen. All the way to 15th. Maybe you can drag Scunny back in there, but actually you can drag Scunny in there because their goal difference is terrible. They've got the worst defence in the league. So yeah, you can drag them in. Drag them back in there. Go on, Scunthorpe. Drag you back in there, son. All the way from 14th down to probably 23rd. Anyone can get relegated.
It's going to be tight. I mean, for me, I'd probably go with Wimbledon, Shrewsbury, Bradford and Gillingham. I think Oxford might have the willpower to do it, but obviously if Gillingham have been poor for a number of seasons down the bottom, and I think this could be their time. If not this season, maybe next season.
Alright, so they're right on the edge yo-yo team, you think?
Yeah,
kind of like the Swansea, Sunderland of old.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, 2 seasons ago, I know they pushed us down by, it was a point, went down to the final game of the season. They were really close then, so I think if not this season, possibly next season, but I'm going to go for this season.
Okie dokie, right, League 2 is done. Let's move on to League 2. Adam, League 2.
Right, so obviously I didn't have any football for Port Vale, no football this season, obviously this Saturday, sorry.
Right, you can say this season as well.
What was I into that one? Yeah, so obviously the situation wasn't great. Obviously we needed the game really off because we didn't have a manager, so it was a bit of an omen that we didn't get that game. But obviously top of the league, Lincoln playing Notts. You'd have expected Notts to probably clean them out, and then Lincoln to clean Notts out. And then Notts County.
Do you think that's a turning point for Notts County?
No,
I don't think so. I mean,
the penalty miss for Lincoln right at the end.
Lincoln have been, I know, a bit average over the last, the turn of the year.
Well, they let me down, so whatever.
So I don't think Notts County will pick back up, but there's still a chance. 7 points off.
There's definitely a chance. I mean, and teams in League 2 can go on massive losing streaks. So it's not really like other leagues where, like Championship, anyone can beat anyone. I wouldn't say League 2 is kind of that league. I'd say, there's a few surprises, but most teams can just go and lose and lose.
Right, here's the thing, right? So it's bottom 2 that go down, right?
Yeah.
It's bottom 2 that go down. Macclesfield, under Sol Campbell, have done things.
They've been incredible. They've been so good under Sol Campbell. I thought they would do well under Sol Campbell.
Adam?
Yeah. Obviously, we went down there. One of his first few games, we got a draw. Very, obviously, defensively, Sol Campbell defensively, really solid. It's just going forward. I had a feel like, didn't really open us up or anything. But obviously, they lost the last 2 games. Obviously, the Macclesfield against Cheltenham game, like they went 2-0 up with 10 men, and then second half it just switched. Yeah. Cheltenham came back 3-2, and then really against Mansfield, they weren't expected to get the win.
All right, if he keeps them up, does he keep his job? Or if it
definitely
if they go down, does he keep his job? You think, and give them a chance to get him back up?
I think they'll give him time, but
no, because Macclesfield haven't been that team. They are the sacking club of League 2, aren't they? They sack people for no reason. Well, we say that for Notts County because they've also been there as well. But they are that joke. They sack people for no reason.
Yeah, but if they stay up, there's no doubt, because really with the funds they have, they really shouldn't be staying in this division.
When they came up, I think the odds were stacked against them to stay up. I thought.
And how long did it take them to get a win? Like at the start of the season?
Mad.
They didn't win until, was it? Until the 20th of October. They didn't win a game.
Well, anyway, obviously, I think Lincoln will win the league. I'm originally from Lincoln. That's biased. Whatever, call me out on it. I don't really mind. But Lincoln will win the league. I don't think Port Vale will go down. good news for you, Adam. I think
Morecambe will be the second team to go.
I also do. I think it'll be either Morecambe or Cheltenham.
I'm going to go. I'm tempted to say Yeovil to go down because they're one of the poorest teams. One of the poorest teams I've seen this season. We battered them 3-0, and that was us batting them 3-0.
Morecambe have won one of the last 12 games. One. It's not exactly safety form, is it?
No, it's not. It's not safety form. Anyway, we'll move on. We're not going to talk about the National League because I don't really care. Leyton Orient are going to win it. Salford, the money mags of Class of '92, aren't going to win it, and that makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's a bit, non-league. It's a bit rare that you got this amount of money to spend. So I mean,
and you're still not winning the league.
They've got players on $4,000 a week signing from the Scottish Premiership, and it's just like they're still not going to win the league to Leyton Orient.
Adam Rooney, wasn't it?
Adam Rooney, yeah, $4,000 a week.
What an idiot! Adam Rooney is a fool.
Well, he's getting his money, isn't he? I suppose.
Yes. Right, I suppose he's earned his money. Right, we'll move on to Scotland. Scotland is interesting. Well, how did we think we'd ever say that? Scotland's interesting. Wow. So we have, obviously, Celtic are top of the league. What a surprise. But behind them, we've got Rangers, Aberdeen and Killie that are all doing bits.
They're all going for the European spots, aren't they? I thought it would be interesting to see if Kilmarnock can get that last spot and take that away from Aberdeen. Because I think Celtic and Rangers top two now, for sure.
Yeah.
Can Rangers push on? Challenge Celtic more? Or do you think I think Celtic will.
I think Brendan Rodgers will equal the record of most league titles won in a row.
You reckon?
Yeah, it'll be his 9th league title for Celtic, I believe.
Possibly.
That's the way. You don't know, do you?
No.
9 league titles in a row for Celtic, and they'll obviously push on and do that.
Yeah, I see Celtic doing it. Yeah.
I think, and this is a thing. I don't think Brendan Rodgers will be at Celtic next season. That's just me. I think he'll be a Leicester City manager next season.
You'll have to give it. Yeah, you'll have to think at some point, like, getting a bit boring this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Give it, like, Yeah, I can see him being a Premier League manager next season.
He's a good manager.
Yeah, he's no doubt. He's a great manager.
I like Brendan Rodgers, bless him. He's a good manager. Right, we'll move on to something different because it's coming up to the end of the season. Well, I'll say it's coming up to the end of the season. It's 30 games we've played this year, which is around about halfway through the season. It's normally when all of the pundits start talking about who is going to be player of the year, who's going to do this, who's going to do that, who's going to do the other. So I attained our 2 lads to pick their players of the year. That is young player of the year, so it's under 23. We say under 23, the actual league makes it under 24, but if you're 23 years old, you're officially a man, in my opinion. You're not a young player, you're an older player. That's
even the 24, you're still
Raheem Sterling's 24 and he's up for the award.
That's mad. Sorry, in my opinion, I
don't think it should be like that. It needs changing where it is under 23s.
Yeah, it should.
Well, we've got under 23s teams. We've got under 23 league. Well, cup competitions and Checkatrade Trophy,
and leagues as well. There are official leagues for it as well. So like they're playing League 2 teams and they're easily beating them and stuff like that.
I'd say the league teams are doing the better. I mean,
well, I saw Man City earlier on in the season demolish Carlisle 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, some teams, but I mean they're all out now. I mean there was how many, like maybe 2 or 3 got through to the knockout rounds.
2. The other one lost to. Both of them lost to Sunderland. That was us.
It was Newcastle, and then we beat Stoke.
You beat Stoke, and we won't go into that game because that was a disgrace for Stoke City. Stoke City fans be ashamed. But what I asked the lads to do was come up with 5 of each. So that's young player and official player of the year. Adam, I'll give you a little bit longer because I only gave you it before we started the actual pod because I was mean. Tom, go on, give me a young player of the year, lad.
Right, I'll start. David Brooks. David Brooks at Bournemouth. He's broke into the Wales squad this year as well. He's got 6 goals, 4 assists. It's a great breakthrough season for him. Great piece of business from Bournemouth because no doubt in 2 or 3 years, they can sell him on for 60, 70 million, if not more.
That's if he progresses still.
If he progresses at the rate he's going now, I think he will go to a top club.
Yep. No, for sure. Move on.
Declan Rice at West Ham.
Oh.
I think he's been phenomenal for them this season. For saying they've not like pulled up any trees, they've not been incredible. But
he's been a standout player for them.
He's been a standout player for them.
Yeah, that's fine.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him stay at West Ham for a
He's West Ham boy, isn't he?
He's West Ham through and through, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Move on.
We've got Marcus Rashford, Man United. Under Ole Gunnar, he's been absolutely firing goals in, hasn't he? He's been the link-up play with Pogba, Martial, Lingard. Everything's just flowing well, and he's at the forefront of it, playing the number 9 where he wants to play, where he scores goals, where he broke through. We've got Matteo Guendouzi.
Yes.
Came from the second league in France, £7 million, absolute steal. He has been phenomenal.
Yep.
He's just he runs that midfield along with the other player I've got here, the young player, Lucas Torreira.
Have you nominated both of them?
I've nominated both of them.
It's gone mad, Arsenal. It's gone Arsenal mad.
Those two, the problem with Arsenal is, like we said earlier, is the defence, the back four. Those two in front of him have been incredible.
Right. Okay.
I personally think that Granit Xhaka should not play.
Well, he doesn't play anymore because he's injured.
When he's fit, he plays. Those two should be the two that play.
I think half the Arsenal fans in the world would agree with you, to be honest with you, mate.
Like Torreira's come from Sampdoria. Was that another cheap one?
Yeah. No, it wasn't. He wasn't cheap, but he was highly rated. There were loads of clubs after him.
He had a great
you
World
had PSG. You had Inter. You had top clubs in Italy after him, but he chose, for some strange reason, Arsenal. Move on to your Player of the Year. This is the older ones that can be any. It can actually be any age. So, like, if Marcus Rashford goes on and scores 30 goals, he should win both. We've had that in previous years where they've won both, but it won't happen this year, I don't think. First one for us, please.
First one, I've got Sergio Aguero.
Yeah,
Sergio, he's a goal machine.
Sergio.
He's a goal machine.
He is a goal machine. He's mad.
If City, we talk about City's strength in depth, but if City are going to win the league, he's going to be at the forefront of it, and he's going to score 28 to 35 goals.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah, he's mad.
Virgil van Dijk, Liverpool.
Yeah, of course.
He's been great at the back for them. He sorted out their defensive problem. Well, they had Lovren and Matip before he came in.
Yeah,
and he's just sorted that out completely, along with Alisson in goal, obviously. But Van Dijk's been so good for them on the ball, just incredible.
Okay, go.
Eden Hazard.
Okay, yeah, you can have Eden Hazard, I suppose. 12
goals, 10 assists in an inconsistent Chelsea side.
There are only two other players in the league, all of the leagues, that have got over 10 goals and 10 assists this season. Kylian Mbappe in France is one. He did it recently, and the other is obviously the GOAT, Lionel Messi.
I just think Hazard needs a move for me. I don't think he's going to progress any further at Chelsea.
He's Chelsea through and through, though, isn't he?
He is.
He's Mr. Chelsea. I don't think he'll leave.
I think he needs to go to Madrid.
Okay, that's fine. And last one, I think. Yeah, there's
two more.
Oh, you got two more. Yeah. Sorry, I can't.
Two more. I'm going to go for David Silva.
Man, what? No.
Yeah,
no, I'm not having David Silva. Go on, carry on. Skip over it. We know who David Silva is. We know how quality he is. We know how he fits in that Man City team. I'm not having it.
Why?
There are better players in that Man City team that deserve it than David Silva.
Who like?
Sané, Bernardo Silva, Otamendi, Edison, Kyle Walker. There's Fernandinho. Fernandinho's the best player in their team, and the most if you don't have Fernandinho in your team, as we saw early on in the year, they're bad. So just okay, fine. Last one.
Mo Salah.
Oh God. Yeah, fine. You can have Mo Salah in there as well if you want.
You know, Mo Salah. You know how good Mo Salah is. Liverpool do run through him. Firmino and Mane runs through him. At the end of the day, he's scoring goals again this season. I personally didn't expect him to score as many as he has already. I didn't expect it.
I think that anybody that doubted that was mad, because he is a quality player. He was going to continue to score goals under Jurgen Klopp. Yeah, he deserves a nomination, but I just sigh because there's a lot of hype over him, and it's justified that they're a quality team and everything like that, and he just does bits week in, week out. But I don't know, I'm just sick of it. I suppose I'm sick of Liverpool winning everything. Adam, I will go to you because I am the host and I want to do this. I want to go to you.
That's fine. So my first nomination is Andrew Robertson.
Young Player of the Year?
Yeah, for Young Player of the Year, yeah.
Yeah, go.
Just gets in there. Another great season for him. I mean, it's still unbelievable that they picked him off from Hull. Yeah. No other team's going, and he's just broke through incredibly. If not better than last season.
Yeah, yes.
I think when he first went to Liverpool, people looked at it and kind of just thought, "What's going on?"
He's improved massively.
But he's been incredible for him.
Yeah. Next one, I think I had to get a centre half in there, so I've gone for Nathan Ake for Bournemouth. I think he's done really well there. Like see, Alex is laughing, but I think he's underrated. He's scoring goals, I think, as well. For a centre half, it's an incredible record.
Okay, you can have Nathan Ake.
Okay, Bernardo Silva, can I have him?
I will allow Bernardo Silva, although this is a completely conjectural and opinionated list. I'm just like slating them all, and I apologise for this. I really do. I'm just like, no, you can't have that.
You can have him, but Alex doesn't rate any of them.
Yeah, I think he's been like incredible at the start of the season, especially. He's not been in the team like the past 2 or 3 games. I'm not sure why, but if Pep does that, I mean, even Sonny didn't start. People were very annoyed about that. But I think Bernardo Silva in that midfield, I mean, he's another one that Liverpool don't really have to come off the bench. I mean, to have him on the bench is
incredible.
Amazing, yeah.
Okay.
Next one, Martial. I'm really liking it. I mean, he's a really dangerous. He runs at you, and especially when Ale is coming, I think he's just a player that obviously the game against Leicester obviously didn't have him. He was on the bench, and it was really slow for Man United, I thought.
Yeah.
But if you start with him, he's a
pivotal
get you goals. Yeah.
He is a pivotal. Pivotal is the word I'm looking for. He is a pivotal part of their attack, and he's one of the players that obviously matters the most to them.
Yeah, and last one, same as Tom going for Rashford.
Yeah.
I think Tom cleared it up pretty much why he should be in there. He's just scoring goals for fun at the minute.
Yeah. Player of the year.
So we'll start with Aguero. I think it's probably the favourite to win it. He's just a machine.
He is a machine. He's an absolute beast.
He's just amazing, season in, season out.
Yeah.
I'm going for Sane next. I think he's doing wonderful things there. Obviously, people are getting annoyed that he's not playing. Obviously, this season, especially fantasy team players, we're very annoyed that he wasn't even starting. But this season, especially, he's really coming to his own. He just needs to be played more.
It's his attitude, right? Okay, it's his attitude off the pitch. It's his attitude. It's been well documented that it is his attitude. It's his attitude off the field that isn't great or isn't as good as Pep Guardiola wants, as other people want from him. He needs to be better. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But obviously, if he isn't as good or isn't strong or forceful or anything like that, then on the pitch we can't fault him. But that's why he hasn't been playing his off the pitch routine. Pep has said he hasn't been as good in training, hasn't been that, and that stems back from the World Cup because he didn't get picked for the World Cup for Germany because he's a toxic personality in the dressing room. He thinks he's Mr. Big Man and he's not. Anyway, move on.
Next one, I'm going for Heung-min Son. I think he's been Tottenham's man to lean on.
I like Heung-min Son. I really do. I like that. He's the only two-footed player in the Premier League that I consider a good two-footed player. Can you name any other player in the Premier League that plays with both feet? No.
Can't think of one since Santi left. Santi Cazorla.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah,
especially when Kane's been out. Obviously, he went away for a month, but you wouldn't have known.
Well, it showed, didn't it? They went to, say, Palace in the FA Cup, got beat 2-0.
Yeah.
But then they've played Newcastle at the weekend, and still no Kane or Ali, I believe. He's come back and they've won the game.
And he got the winner against Watford as well.
Yeah, the only reason he got the winner was because Watford let him in. Yeah, whatever. Fine, whatever. He was a handful there. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. And next
one, same as Tom. I'm gonna have to go for Mo Salah. He's been Liverpool's leading man.
Right. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. I'll allow that. Yeah.
Okay, and one more. I think after what we said about Son, I don't think this Tottenham team during this period has been the same as it was at the start with Harry Kane. I think he's just been class, especially. I mean, there's a lot of the season left to go. We'll be back next month, and I think he'll continue to score in where we left off.
Okay, I will go through my list and subject I'm hoping to get subjected to as much torture as I've just inflicted to these lads' list, because my list is not as out there as some picks like Martial and Sané. Fine, okay, that's all right. Young Player of the Year, I've gone David Brooks. It's a no-brainer. He's been absolutely phenomenal and out there. Marcus Rashford, you've both said it time and time again. Marcus Rashford's been incredible. You've both, one of you mentioned Andrew Robertson. Again, he's been phenomenal. He's improved that Liverpool team. He will win the bet against Trent Alexander-Arnold to get more assists. They have a bet between them.
I've seen that,
it's funny. I've gone the same as Tom as well with Guendouzi. 19 years old. He is their enforcer in that midfield. Torreira does a job, but Guendouzi is that man. But there's one player that both of you have forgotten, who came from a lower league club, and that is James Maddison for Leicester. He's changed their team. Whenever he's in their team and he plays central, he has changed their team.
He's done well, to be fair.
He has really changed their team, and I think him, Rashford and Brooks are the three front runners for me for that. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but I personally think he's been mad. Player of the Year, okay, right, I'll go through it slowly and definitely because I've got only a couple of players that you guys have picked. I've picked Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang for Arsenal. He's got goals galore for them. Without his goal contributions, they wouldn't even be anywhere near the top four.
They've even put him out on the left hand side. He's still scoring goals, still putting him in the back of the net. So.
Absolutely, he's been there. His link up play with Lacazette has been incredible and phenomenal. I have agreed with Adam. I've gone Harry Kane because he's England's poster boy child. He scores goals for fun. He's been out near enough 3 weeks and he's still got 10 goals. He's missed 7-8 matches this season through various different injuries, and he's still in the top goal scorer shout. He really is incredible, the amount of goals he scores. The other one is Sergio Aguero. That man is amazing. He's won things for Man City with his quality. He's won games for them. He's just their man. Anytime anyone says, "Oh, he's leaving," he's not. He's Man City through and through.
I can't see him leaving.
He will retire there. He's an absolute beast. The next one, Virgil van Dijk. I'll completely agree with everybody. He's the reason him and Alisson, the sole reason Liverpool have turned their stuff around. We all know they could score goals for fun. We saw it last season, but they would score 4 goals because they let in 3, and they've stopped doing that. Before their blip against Palace and stuff like that, they only had let in 7 goals this season. They've still got the best goal difference in the league. Man City have scored more goals but let in more, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've got the best defence in the league. They're incredible. The other one, and my last and final one that I am going to pick, is a little bit out there, and agree with me or disagree with me, I'll talk through my opinion, is N'Golo Kante.
Think he's been as good as previous years?
He's been better than previous years.
Do you think it's just Chelsea aren't as good as a team as a whole?
He's going more forward. Is that your reasoning?
He's playing a lot more forward. Right, he's sure. Like we were always like we know he's an absolute beast in midfield. He is an enforcer. He will tackle, intercept, do whatever. He runs like a madman, and he's always smiling. But this year we've seen something out of his game, and he's shown us it that we never knew he had. We didn't know he had this pinpoint pass. We didn't know he could score a goal. We didn't know he could do this. We didn't know he could do that. And he's done it. He's proved us all wrong that he can do this. He got 2 assists at the weekend at Huddersfield.
That's the thing. He was known as a man that just ran around tackling everyone.
Scored against Spurs to send them to the Carabao Cup final. Scored for them. He's come up with big important goals. He scored against Man City, didn't he?
Yeah, he scored from the... What hit that was, like half volley, was it?
Yeah, he scored that. So he has come up with goals this year that are big and important for Chelsea. Yes, Eden Hazard's Chelsea's poster boy, and he always will do well, and he always will do. But I think N'Golo Kante has been more important for them.
So do you prefer him in that box to box, or do you prefer him as a 4?
No, he's a 4 holding midfielder. He is, but obviously now we've seen he can do. He's a complete midfielder now. I think he is. He is a complete midfielder. He's not Ruben Neves complete.
No, but he is.
But he is a complete midfielder.
He's adding goals and assists.
Yeah,
like you say. So
That's why I've picked him, is because he has excelled that difference. And for me, we can put all these players in that have been great and everything like that, but I think the PFA award has been kind of marred over these last couple of years with just picking players that have had really good years. Yeah, absolutely. I think it should always be players improving and showing us things that they've never shown us before. Yeah. What happens when they run out of things to show us? Keep showing us new things. Aguero has shown us new things. Yeah, he dyed his hair silver and became a fox in the box. No, that wasn't funny. Harry Kane, shown us different things. As everybody said, he's been injured. He's come back from injury. Fatigue from the World Cup. What's fatigue from the World Cup? August rumour. Blip that out. Scored in August for the first time in his career. Whatever. There are reasons why this happened. Personally, I'd give the Young Player of the Year award to Rashford because he has shown us that he can be that number 9. Everyone always was like, oh, can he be a number 9, or is he a wide out player, or is he this, that and the other? No, he is a centre forward.
He's scoring goals.
Yeah, exactly. He's a striker. He's keeping Romelu Lukaku out of the team for a reason, because he's scoring goals.
So I don't care what people say, because Lukaku is still a great Premier League striker. He's got, I think his ratio is 1-2 still.
Yeah.
And he went on a run of not scoring for I don't know how long as well.
Yeah. It's just that thing, man. It really is that thing. He's incredible. But that's the way it works. This weekend, obviously, we've got the big match of Chelsea, Man City in the final. I'm just having a look at the other fixtures that we can probably have a look at this weekend. See what we can all do. There.
Is it the final or is it the league this weekend?
No, it's final.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. 90% sure. No, it's Sunday at 4:00. It should be. No, it's the league. It's the league. So obviously tomorrow we've got Everton, Man City at Goodison Park. Man City win.
Man City win. I think City will do them by 2 or 3.
They've got top of the league. So we've got other games as well. Fulham Man United is the early kick-off on Saturday.
Man United. I think Man United will go there and they'll just be one, like it'll be like the Leicester game.
Okay.
I think they'll just beat them by 1 goal.
United.
Watford Everton.
That's a tough game. I'll have to go Watford.
I'm going for a draw.
Ooh. Huddersfield Arsenal. Arsenal winning that game. Southampton Cardiff.
Oh, that's a tough one. I'll go with Southampton though.
Southampton will do them.
Yeah.
Southampton.
It'll be a close one though.
It's at Southampton as well.
Yeah.
So that's the important
thing.
Big
I can't see Southampton battering him.
Okay. Palace West Ham. Draw. That's a draw for me. Draw for me, especially with West Ham bouncing back from the previous losses. We've got Liverpool Bournemouth. This is, I don't know what Bournemouth's going to pick up. What Bournemouth's going to play.
What team's going to play.
What Liverpool's going to play. That's an interesting game.
I do think Liverpool. I still think Liverpool at Anfield. I do think Liverpool still get the job done.
Yeah, I think Man City will go top, and then Liverpool will be like, right, we've got to do something here.
Another game that's got a draw or a tight win written all over it is Brighton Burnley. Saturday R5. That's the Saturday R5 game.
That's the 0-0 half-5 game.
I was thinking 0-0. I was going to say that 0-0.
BT have got some really screwed games. Super Sunday is super this week. Spurs Leicester at Wembley.
Spurs.
I think Spurs will do it.
Spurs by just the 1 goal.
I can see a draw there. I can see them dropping points. Then Sunday, obviously, we've got Man City Leicester. Man City Chelsea. Sorry, we've already said that. Monday night is the curse of Newcastle United's Monday night going to continue, as we haven't won a Monday night game in 20 games. Whenever we've been on Monday night football, we've not won.
I think it's going to continue. I think Wolves have got too much. Wolves have got too much.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, we're defensively solid, lads.
I'm on you.
I'll go for a draw, I think.
We got beat last minute last time they were there. Last minute by the spawniest girl in the world. It was 92nd minute. Like, they countered attacked. They fouled DeAndre Yedlin in progress and then scored. And I was fuming. I was absolutely fuming. But yeah, no, they're the games this week. Obviously, Tom, we've got some FA Cup replays this weekend. Tomorrow night, sorry.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Who are they? I'll do the do so that
there's some tonight as well.
Brentford Barnet tonight. It's tonight. Sorry, yeah.
Brentford Barnet.
Brentford, but I think Brentford, they've got...
Wait, wasn't that the 3-0 one?
That was 3-0 one, yeah.
Yeah, where they scored an absolute world.
I want Barnet to do it, because obviously they were done with that penalty that wasn't...
It shouldn't have been a penalty. Ollie Watkins just jumping on the floor like he'd been shot.
Yeah, I'm going for that.
I want Barnet to win, but I can't see it. Brentford scored 5 at the weekend against Blackburn.
Yeah.
I just think it's too much of an ask. If it was at Barnet, like it was the first time, did it really well. They were so unlucky. They should have won the game, but they've got cheated out of it at the end of the day.
Okay, who's next?
Newport, Middlesbrough. I think Newport will give them. I think Newport will give them a run.
Newport.
We'll see. I mean, when we played them like last week,
was it
1-0? Was it? No, it was 0-0. It was just a really.
Newport haven't really got anything to play for in the league.
No.
Newport haven't really got anything to play for in the league, and Middlesbrough are in the playoffs and need to keep their form up in the league. So, but
I could see people dipping out of this, just taking the L and not really caring. But
I'm going to go for Middlesbrough.
Right, fine.
QPR Portsmouth.
It's QPR.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be extra time.
Well, Steve McLaren has to get rid of this analogy from when he was at Newcastle and other clubs that he doesn't care about the FA Cup.
He does, yeah.
He has to get rid of that analogy, because wherever he's been at any club, he's always dropped out of the FA Cup early. So he has to get rid of that, in my opinion.
I think Portsmouth, but I would say Portsmouth are also another one going for the automatics, and I don't think QPR are near the playoffs at the moment.
No, they're not. They're mid-table boring.
You'd expect QPR, especially being in the league above, but I do think it'll be extra time.
Okay, I'll give you that. Anyone else?
Wolves, Shrewsbury.
Wolves.
It's got to be Wolves, hasn't it?
I mean, it was giving them a shock to go 2-0 up against Wolves. Shrewsbury did. But
I mean, half of me would love Shrewsbury to do it so that Wolves are really, really feeling down, and then we just batter them on Monday night. But
you just, when these Premier League teams,
they've got an absolute luck there, didn't they? They've got a midweek FA Cup game on Tuesday, and then on Tuesday, and then they got a Monday night game. That's pretty much a week to recover. FA, what are you doing, man? Sort that out.
But when you look at these Premier League and Championship teams at home against these conference sides, these League One sides that are struggling, you just think they've got to beat them. They've got to beat them.
Yeah, there is some League Two games on tonight if anyone's interested.
Oh yeah, go on, Adam. Go on, give us these League Two predictions.
So obviously a tight one down at the bottom. Cheltenham Yeovil tonight. That's going to be really good.
That's a 0-0 all over it. Or 2-all.
I'm thinking a draw between those two.
Yeah, it's 2-all.
It'd help my situation if it's a draw.
Yeah, we'll go 2-all so that Port Vale feel better about themselves.
Yeah. And then Tranmere, Northampton. Obviously, Tranmere didn't have a game at the weekend, so they've had a lot of time to recover.
I'm going to say Tranmere.
And then Northampton lost, was it 4-0 to Colchester?
They were really poor at the weekend. They were very bad. And
Tranmere's home record is incredible. And the
other side of that, Northampton's away record's really bad.
I think we spoke about it yesterday. Tranmere are one of those that they need to win their games and to push for that last playoff spot.
Yeah, so definitely Tranmere for me.
Yeah, that's pretty much all of it then, isn't it, lads?
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, we've done it. Right, there's 3 of us, and that was the Hat Trick Podcast. Look at that. That beat's amazing. So, thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Cheers, Alex.
Thank you, Tom. I didn't even say thank you, Tom, but thank you. Thank you very much, fellas. Until next week. See you later.